Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Marketing Matters. I'm Sarah Touchstone, Landmark Title's social media marketing strategist and educator. Get the pleasure of bringing you guys Marketing Matters every Wednesday morning. No fail. This happens unless it's a holiday, even though today's a holiday, but it's not one of those where, people are traveling or anything like that. So I've got a really great guest on. You guys might recognize her. She's one of our I would say annual guests. She's come on the last couple of years for it's funny because she comes on for holidays, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
She's done a Veterans Day presentation for us the last 2 years. She's on today, which happens to be a double holiday for us Arizonans. It is Valentine's Day and Arizona Statehood Day. I'm not sure that's actually Arizona Statehood Day. I think I may have just mashed all those words together, and that's what I'm calling it. But Arizona became a state on this day, February 14th. So we're lucky here in Arizona. We get not one, but two holidays, February 14th. And we're lucky because we get Stacey Gross for not once a year, but more. Today, she is going to be talking about time management, which is always a challenge for us in this industry. We wear so many hats. We're getting pulled in so many different directions. And I hear this time and time again, not just from realtors, but from us as industry partners as well. This is a huge challenge for us to manage our time. So really excited to have Stacey back on today. This is going to be such a good topic. Of course, as always, we are recording this, and you can access this as well as many of our other Marketing Matters webinars on our Landmark Title Assurance Agency YouTube channel. So with all of that being said, Stacey, I'm going to hand the reins over to you, and I'm going to get my notebook out and my pen to take some good notes on this, because I think, like I said, this is one of these topics that we can all benefit from.
Fabulous. Well, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with everyone so that, yeah, can you see that on your end?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Sometimes there's a delay.
Okay. Oh, yeah, it shows it is loading. Sorry, gang. Technology.
So it's fun. No matter how long we've done Zoom
Okay.
calls, I always find that there's always like sometimes it's gonna work, sometimes things are not gonna work.
Yeah. Well, let's
Stacey,
start.
I do have your slides loaded as well in this
Okay.
presentation. If you want, I can just run through them and you can just tell me to go to the
Okay.
next one.
Let's do that because I got a feeling it's still loading. So I'll stop on my end.
All right, well, I got you covered.
Okay.
She's such a wonderful guest. She has the foresight. She's like, hey, I'm gonna send my slides to you just in case. And here we are.
There we go. Well, thank you everyone for joining today. One of the things that time management has always been something that I've, I think everybody who's busy struggles with, right? But we all have the same amount of time in the week, in the day. And so how we use that really can affect our overall effectiveness. So today I'm going to hopefully go through some things to kind of get your kind of thinking outside the box on how you can manage your day and your time better. So we'll go to the next slide. Obviously, today we're going to cover the challenges, some solutions. I'm going to give you some ideas in regarding how to plan and also your tools that you can use. Either you run the day or the day runs you, is what Jim Rohn said. And I don't think there could be truer words when it comes to time management and running the day. Challenges with time management, let's talk about that a little bit. So what the next slide for us, Sarah, what impacts your day? And I think that, we could add a lot more things to this list, but what comes to really the top of mind as I've coached people over the years with regards to how to manage their business, their time, is distractions. Then one of the number one things that is out of your control is your daily distractions. So we're going to talk about how to plan for that. Too much to do and not enough time to do it. That's kind of more of a mindset. And we're going to talk through how to handle that. Daily interruptions. We have kids or family, other commitments besides our work. So those daily interruptions can happen. And then also time robbers. People can be big time robbers, right? And you know who they might be. The one person that grabs you in the office and has a lot of things they want to share, but they're taking away from your effectiveness and how you are managing your day. So we have to watch out for time robbers. The other thing that could be time robbers, especially for those of us now, many people are working at home. And this is very common. I'll hear, well, I needed to run the dishwasher, or I need to get the washing machine running and do a load of clothes. I needed to take care of something in the yard. Those things can also be time robbers. They're not, there's things we need to do, but we have to be mindful of how we're implementing and using that in our day. So what you can control, your attitude, your self-talk, right? If your attitude is negative and you feel like you can't ever get a handle on it, including with that self-talk, it's going to definitely impact your ability to manage your time. Setting priorities. You can, and I'm going to give you some tools today on how to effectively set priorities, but also so that you can determine what really is going to have the biggest impact to your day. And then avoiding the hard stuff and procrastination. That's where most of the time we just don't like to do the things that take a lot of time, the hard stuff, the projects that we may not have all the information for. So we're going to talk about and give you some ideas on how to help you with procrastinating and getting those big hard projects completed. All right, next slide. So a perfect method for adding drama to life is to wait until the deadline looms large, right? I think that speaks to many of us on what happens with projects and how they can get pushed off to the side and then all of a sudden become a bigger issue. So let's talk about procrastination. And the next slide, Sarah, for me, please. So procrastination takes lots of different forms, right? I don't like doing the hard stuff. I'm overworked, too much to do. I'm juggling so much now. You can kind of get a feel for really what it is that self-talk, right? It's our attitude and our self-talk. I don't know how to do the project or the task. Don't know where to start. We'll talk a little bit about how to do that. I'm scared of failing. That is usually why most people avoid and will delay, because again, not sure what to do, and then not sure if they're going to be able to complete it. What if it's not good enough? And then where do I start? And how do I start? It's all about taking that first step. We'll go to the next slide. All right, so now we're going to talk about some time management solutions. Next slide for me, Sarah. The way to get started is to quit talking and begin doing. So that's what we're going to do next. All right, so let's talk specifically about how to get started. So some of the solutions is change the attitude, right? You are the master of your day. You are the master of your time. You can control your time. Sometimes it's saying no to things that you can't get done, or I can do it, but I can't get to it until setting realistic expectations, right? Preparing and doing the hard things first. Many times because we may perceive that it's hard, we may not even want to start it, but we're gonna work on and give you some tools for that. And then prepare for each opportunity. What's interesting is I've always noticed when I put projects off that really need my attention, guess what? All of a sudden, other things start to come up that need attention also. So if I can be prepared and have my projects in a regular manner getting completed, whether that's calling calling past clients, calling out, and I'm going to specifically for realtors, because I think that's most of our audience, is doing my daily marketing activities. If it's making my social media touches, how am I doing that? It's preparing me for each of those opportunities. Next slide. So here's my plan. First, identify the project. So if I'm looking at, and I'm just going to use this as an example because this is something that I hear frequently, I really need to do more social media. Okay, what does that look like for you? Have you taken a pen and paper to that plan and figured out exactly what the project will entail and what it looks like? Then you want to take and break it down by what needs to be done. Do I need to set up a social media Facebook account, a LinkedIn account? Is my LinkedIn profile completed? I can't tell you how many times I jump into LinkedIn, and we know that 40% of the buyers start at LinkedIn before they identify who they're going to work with in real estate. Is your profile up to date? A lot of times it's not. So making sure that you're breaking your project down into parts. How much time is required? If I know that, let's say, to set up a new Facebook page or to get my LinkedIn up and running, it's going to take an hour, maybe it's best to set aside 2 half-an-hour increments, but it's determining what you think you're going to need for time. Rule of thumb, plan for double the time, because it does take sometimes more than what we anticipated. And then assign yourself tasks. Okay, today I'm going to work on this section, and I'm just going to use LinkedIn because, again, it's really a powerful tool for us in the real estate industry. Is my profile complete? Do I have everything in there in regards to my education, my certifications that I've got, my designations? Is everything in there? And then effective time blocking. So many times people say, well, I set aside 9 to noon to do this particular project. I don't know many people that that's really an effective time blocking system. Some people it does work for, but you might be better off to break it down into smaller segments, whether that's hour or half hour, because what happens is life happens during that time frame. Emails, voicemails are coming in, text messages, a lot of distractions that if you maybe looked at your time blocking in half-an-hour increments or 45-minute increments with that last 15 minutes to reply to emails, text messages, and voicemails, then you're not feeling quite as overwhelmed at the end of that 1-hour segment. So something to consider. Again, if 9 to noon works for you to block out time and you can stay effective with that, I just, just throwing that out too as an option is sometimes to get time management, to get your time under control, sometimes it takes baby steps and not saying I'm going to cut out a big chunk of time, but doing it in smaller times. Leave time for emergencies, right? Again, if I'm using a 1 hour or half an hour increment, it does leave me time to make sure that everything else is being addressed and taken care of. Anticipating problems. Maybe it's anticipating, do I have a strong enough Wi-Fi connection? Whatever that might be, but anticipate roadblocks. Do I need information from somebody else that would be important in planning my particular project? Make sure you're thinking through. Next slide. The tools. So now this is kind of where we're going to really get into the meat of getting things done in time management. There's several different time management tools that are available. The ones that I have used and have found with people that I've coached that really work is the ABCs of time management, whether that's using a yellow pad or post-it notes, whatever that might look like to you, but breaking it down into what is my to-do list? What are my projects? What are my items that are non-negotiable? I have to get these items completed. I need to deliver this particular contract by this deadline, or I have these specific timelines that I have to adhere to. Getting those onto piece of paper, email, Word doc, whatever works for you, and then categorize them by A, B, or C, or it could be even 1, 2, 3. Okay, but you're going to put your top priorities are going to be A's, meaning an A has to be done within a 1 to 2 day time frame. Okay, because what's going to happen then, that next level, the B's are going to be, okay, maybe this is something that today's Wednesday, it needs to be done by Saturday. So I've got a little bit more time to do it, but it's still a priority. Because as I finish my A projects, my B projects are going to move up to the A, right? Because the A is moving away, so the B's move up to the A's, and the C's move up to B's. And if you think of it as a rotating project, this way, you're never going to be in a crisis mode getting a project done, because you're going to have your projects outlined and your time set aside to complete these projects. Most people, and I know there's been studies that are done, most people, their most effective times of day are in the morning when they're fresh. They've had a good night's sleep, they're fresh, and now is the time to take and use your creative, mindset to really get in and do a project. So something to consider. My experience, again, in managing a lot of people over the years, when somebody puts a project off to the afternoon, it typically does not get finished and it gets rolled to the next day. And that's when things start to have domino effects. So if it's getting up in the morning, getting the kids off to school, then it's hitting the ground running and tackling your A projects. So that's one system for time management. To-do lists are another great system. You know, having something where you've got your list of items that need to be done and taking those items and breaking them out into smaller projects could be where you could use the ABC system, but saying, here are the big projects that I need to complete. Of those projects, here are the different levels or areas that I need to address, and engage other people to help you. I personally love a great checklist. So I use checklists for file flow, pre-approval process. You can use a checklist for your contracts, making sure you've got all of your paperwork. Many times our transaction coordinators in real estate, that's what they use, is a checklist to make sure that they have everything. Use it as a timeline too, because the purchase contract in Arizona is so fantastic when it comes to breaking down all the timelines that we have to meet. That's a perfect way to set up a checklist to ensure that you have everything completed. Work closely with your lender. If you've got an FHA or a VA loan, that's a perfect time to say, hey, I know that we've got to complete the FHA VA mandatory clause. What's my deadline on that? And let's not wait till the last minute to become a fire drill. So some different things that you can use. Checklists are, again, one of my favorite. I use it with my team. It helps us also stay on the same page from a communication standpoint, right? I know where they're at on a file or working on a project. I know right where we're at. So it's something to consider. Technology ideas that you can use. Gosh, there are so many apps that are out there, but you can use your calendar. I love using my calendar as a reminder for projects that need to be done. I'll back into that project and set up times that I know that I've got to have certain milestones completed. I'll use my calendar also as a reminder that things are coming. I use my calendar to put all my anniversaries and birth dates in, so I never miss somebody's birthday. The other thing is you can use your phone. A lot of people use their phone notepad, so that's also, then you've always got it right in front of you. You can do a to-do list or a checklist, take a picture of it and keep it on your phone. Whatever works for you. Also old school, using a yellow pad, right? A yellow pad can be a great tool and it's cheap, right? And it's the ability to use that and go through and make a list and write things. If you are a visual and very tactical person, you might like putting a line through things and knowing I completed this project. So use what works for you. There's no right or wrong. It's using the tools that work for you. Next slide, Sarah. So to summarize, what will you change? What can you implement today? Even if it's a small step, I would say Rome wasn't built in a day, right? What can you change today that would help you with your overall time management and running your day and running your business essentially? I always looked at my work as a business, running my family's schedule as a business. How do I make sure that everything is getting done? So what can you implement today? What does success look like? And it might not be, gosh, my entire day is organized. Maybe it's my morning is organized, or the first 2 hours of my day I have organized so that I have flexibility for the rest of the day as things come up. How will you hold yourself accountable to making the changes? And sometimes people like to have an accountability partner, whether that's a spouse or significant other, a really good friend, or somebody else that's in business right alongside of you. Ask them to collaborate with you and help hold you accountable. Because like the last bullet point, who can you collaborate with? It's sometimes more fun when you're doing it with somebody else and you've got somebody else to bounce ideas off of. So I will leave it at that. Sarah, do we have any questions? Anybody have a feedback? Let me see here.
I don't see any questions. However, if you guys want to reach out to Stacey for more information, her contact information is right there on the screen. I'll give you guys just a moment to write any of that down. You guys probably, like I said, you recognize Stacey. She is one of our power partners, and she is amazing. She's also with Nations Lending. If you're looking for somebody that is an expert in that field to help you out, I can recommend no one better than Stacey.
Thanks,
So
Sarah.
we are going to wrap up with some other upcoming classes that we have, some of which Stacey's also participating in. So if you guys do have any questions, you can, like I said, put them in the chat, the question and answer. Of course, you can always reach out to Stacey directly as well. So a couple of things we have coming up. Tomorrow, we have Tina Tambor coming on. It's actually a Zoom. So if you guys want to scan that QR code, we've got a Zoom going on live tomorrow at 1 p.m. This is going to be great. Of course, the Cromford Report is always super popular. Tina gives great information, and 2024 is going to be a good year, I think. So if you want to get that great information for your clients, please hop on tomorrow. That's hosted by Michael Carabio. And then we've got a reverse mortgage lunch and learn coming up on February 20th. So that's next Tuesday, up in the Prescott area. If you'd like to register for this is in person. So you would have to be up in the Prescott area. This is Tuesday from 12 to 1 p.m. Reach out to Michelle and let her know that you will be attending that one. And then the following day, on February 21st, we have a Zoom about corporate transparency. I've actually attended one of these with Patrick McQueen, and it's really good. There's some new laws regarding the Corporate Transparency Act. So if this is something that is part of your business, I really recommend hopping on this. This Zoom is only an hour long, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Next Wednesday, it is hosted by Renee. So if you would like to attend, reach out to her and she will give you the registration, or you can scan that little QR code down at the bottom. And then the following day, next week is a busy week for us here at Landmark Title. Next Thursday, we have the beginnings of a fantastic series, the Make Your Mark series. And we're going to be doing a panel of some of the top producers in our industry. This is going to regard building your brand. In real estate, all we really have is ourselves to market, right? So the brand that you build around your business is crucial to, getting clients and putting yourself out there. So come hear from some of the best in the business, including our very own Vicki and Christy from Landmark. They really have built the Landmark brand up from the ground up. So come on out. Space is limited though. So reach out to your business development managers and secure your spot today. That's next Thursday from 9 until 11 down at our Camelback training room. And then we've got, of course, 2 fabulous home tours. We've got the Moon Valley home tour. That's on the 3rd Thursday of the month. And then we've got the Biltmore luxury tour. That is on the 4th Wednesday of the month. Both of these are great. I've been having them on different slides, but I figured, you know what, they're both home tours. Let's throw them up there together. You can attend one, you can attend both. If you have homes in the area, consider putting them on the home tour as well. And then last but certainly not least is our next Arizona Real Estate Series Zoom. This one is coming up March 7th. This is the one that Stacey is our fabulous host for. This one's going to be really cool. We've got Dwayne Fouts from West USA. He's the designated broker over there. And Joey, I'm going to probably pronounce this wrong, Rousseau, I think that is. I think that's how you do it's French, right? Rousseau. Stacey will let me know if I pronounce those correctly. She'll be on top of that on March 7th. This is from 9 until 10. It is on Zoom. You can scan that QR code and register. If you've registered for one of these before, guess what? You're already registered. Yay! So check your emails. You'll be getting a updated registration link to attend that March 7th. And that is it for us today, guys. Of course, thank you to Stacey for coming on and giving us that great information. I hope that it helps everyone out a little bit more with how they can be most productive with their time. And of course, if you'd like to attend any of these other classes in person, on Zoom that you see, or you would like any other kind of topics or information covered by us here at Landmark Title. We are your industry partners. We're here to help you grow your business, get more clients, and always be the best realtor you can be. So if you have any questions, comment, want more information, reach out to your business development manager, Beth, Keith, Mary, Michael, Michelle, Patty, or Renee. They are here to help you every step of the way. And of course, thank you to Landmark Title for allowing us to bring you Marketing Matters every single Wednesday morning. We have 7 offices here in the Valley, 1 in Prescott, 2 up in Nevada, to help with all of your real estate escrow and title needs. So please think of us on your next contract, and we'll be happy to give you exemplary customer service for you and your clients. And as always, thank you, for your business. That's it, guys. We'll see you next week.